we want to keep this Luke Skywalker train rolling. I want to ask a very important question here. I'm going to run a poll on this one. A lot of people are going to have to make important decisions. And one of those decisions is which Luke Skywalker do they want? Some people will get many Luke Skywalkers, but not everyone really wants 5, 2, 7 Luke Skywalkers, any number that you can come up with, right? Some people just want one definitive Luke Skywalker. Some might want 2. That's fine. Luke Skywalker is one of the most important characters in Star Wars, if not the most important. Him and Darth Vader arguably are probably the 2 most important characters in Star Wars. And of course, Anakin, but that's Darth Vader. Anyway, the decision that some people might have to make as far as what's going to be available to you pretty soon is this Mando Luke. And then maybe like Ben said, maybe you're going to have a PO for the Return of the Jedi, 40th anniversary rather, for the Luke Skywalker for that one. But in the meantime, we might have the option to get make a choice here. And I want to bring up a screenshot here. So I'll run a poll on this one. But Ben, I want to ask you first. If you had to pick one Luke Skywalker for your collection, you're really being selective about your Luke Skywalker. Are you going to pick Mando Luke Skywalker with the black, with the Dark Trooper, with the green lightsaber? Or are you going Bespin from Empire Strikes Back, also a DX, but with a blue lightsaber and a different outfit? What are you choosing here?
Bespin.
Bespin all the way? All right.
1,000%. Easy choice. Again, I loved the scene from Mando, not to knock that at all by any stretch, but Empire Strikes Back is easily one of my favorite movies of all time. I already have some of the Empire Strikes Back figure line as it is, so this would kind of fit in with some of that Empire Strikes Back theme that I've got kind of going on. I am your father, line from Star Wars is probably one of the most iconic scenes of all time, Star Wars included, but you can not be a Star Wars fan and know that scene. And Bespin Luke is a huge part of the reason why I love that scene. So to be honest, it's not even a
question for you.
Not even a comparison. Yeah, I would go with Bespin for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because I think this is a really interesting one for me because Empire Strikes Back, I do feel probably objectively is the best Star Wars film ever made. I think most people would agree with that. When we compare, trilogies or what's the best film in a trilogy, we say, oh, that's this universe's Empire Strikes Back. That's kind of how I view The Dark Knight. That's how I view Infinity War. That's their Empire Strikes Back, right? So I think it's pretty fair to say that most people love Empire and view it as a step above most Star Wars films. But you're going to get 10 different answers if you ask 10 different people. But most people are going to have Empire in their top 2 to 3, I would say. So that said, Mr. Kiko, if you can only have one of these 2 Luke Skywalkers, what are you thinking here? Mando Luke or Bespin Luke?
We just talked about it, and it's 100% always going to be, I think, Empire Strikes Back Luke for a majority of people, including myself, not just for the sentimentality, but also for the aesthetics. I want to talk about both of those really quick. The aesthetics of the Return of the Jedi or Prime Luke or whatever, it's a black outfit, and that's about it. But this is something totally different. It is iconic, yes, but there is more nuance to it. It's more intricately made. It looks cool, and he's got those really sweet Dagobah boots, that he's wearing. It looks aesthetically pleasing to me, and it's not, and it stands out more because sometimes with a black outfit it just kind of fades into the distance. This really does pop because it's a lighter garment. But from the emotional attachment with this, you don't get Prime Luke or Return of the Jedi Luke without this Luke, because you needed this moment for him to be broken and to realize who his father really was. And without this moment where he collapses and basically says, I'd rather die than join the Empire type of thing, you don't get Luke like that. So this is his turning point. This is his moment. And this is his hero's journey. He had to be broken. And so that is what it reflects. So when you see that, and I love the sweaty hair, you saw, the battle damage version. I wish they did a battle damage version of this, and they probably will at some point, if they're going to bring that back. That's what I loved about the DX07 is that you got both of them. And I personally think of all the Lukes out there, the battle damage 07 is still, even with this Mando Luke, the best one out there. And I'll stick by that. So I love this hair. I love this look. I love the moment. So yeah, Empire Strikes Back, Bespin Luke all the way.
It's a pretty dope base too, I will say. But I will say, original trilogy is always going to be in people's hearts. That's what they're going to hold most dear, right? I'm going to go against the grain a little bit. I'm going to go Mando Luke here. And I'm going to say that because, like Ben said, The scene of Mando Luke when he arrives on the ship and saves everyone and literally cuts through the dark troopers like butter. Honestly, I was the same way as you, Ben. I have a connection to the original trilogy. I love the original trilogy, but it's not like, to me, like I hold it so dear in my heart that like, oh my God, like everything about Star Wars OG trilogy is just like, I need that, right? I love original trilogy, but it's not my favorite in every respect, right? Mando, however, for the new age Star Wars fans, maybe more like myself, I watched Star Wars when I was a kid and my family was big into it and I loved it, but I didn't really get big into Star Wars until The Force Awakens came out. When The Force Awakens came out, then at that point, I loved The Force Awakens so much that I went back and rewatched everything, and then I started becoming a pretty big super fan of Star Wars. So I'm more of a new age Star Wars fan as much as I love the original trilogy. Mando has a very important place in my heart for that reason. So Mando Luke, for me, for one, this is probably Luke at his most powerful. Like, I don't think we've seen a Luke Skywalker as powerful as we did in Mando.
So. Agreed.
Right? So I think that's something too. But Kiko also raised a very valid point, you did too, Ben, about this being a formative moment for Luke, the Empire one, the Bespin one, because he doesn't get to become what he eventually becomes without this trauma that he experiences in this fight and this growth. So it's a tough one. I would say, I mean, would you guys agree that if you could have two Luke Skywalkers based on what the current offerings are, it would probably be these two, right? Because they showed the best of Luke and the most important moments of Luke. Would you guys agree with that? These would probably be the two?
Maybe. I really like the snowspeeder Luke too, and I don't
see?
have that. And that orange jumpsuit to me is also incredibly 100%. Iconic when it comes to Luke Skywalker.
So would you take that, Ben, over Mando Luke?
I think I would. I would do a snowspeeder Luke and then the Bespin before Mando Luke.
Okay.
I'm going to parrot exactly what he says. I think Steven in the chat even said the orange beats the beige each time. And I'm going to parrot exactly what they said, is that those two, that's another reason why Empire is so iconic, is because those two outfits, there's two giant moments, you know, the battle on Hoth, and then obviously you can kind of get the, okay, he's in the X-Wing, you know, blow up the Death Star, that type of feel as well. I mean, the X-Wing outfit and the orange outfit is so iconic. And then he puts this on. I mean, so it's just full of so many cool moments. And it's his character arc, man. And yeah, I think those two are the best representations of Luke because there's so much at stake in what's going on in each one.
Yeah. And if I end up getting two Luke Skywalkers, these will be the two. Yeah, these will be the two. But Mando Luke is number one for me just because of how, because I almost got teary-eyed too, Ben, in that moment, just seeing Luke again. And again, I'm a big OG trilogy fan, but I'm not like the super diehards out there like many Star Wars fans are. So, and even seeing that, I was like, damn, this is amazing. This is really cool. And
Shauna makes fun of me so hard because I'm such a sensitive person, and she is just not. Person. And she doesn't even really watch movies. She's like, she doesn't get it. She came down the other day, and I can't remember what movie I was. Oh, Click. Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen that movie.
Dude, that movie's
Click,
sad.
Where you know, like he dies in the parking lot at the end, and it's like he wishes he'd had more time with his family. I'm like, oh my God, like. The Adam Sandler movie, yeah, totally makes me cry every time. She walked down as that part was on. She's like, "Okay, I came in at a wrong moment. Went back upstairs."
Yeah, dude.
So it's the way she goes. It's the way she goes. But I have emotional connection to all of the things that I collect. So
well, I'm gonna end the poll now, right when we are finishing up this topic. And honestly, it was 53% Bespin, 46% Mando. That's pretty close. And I think Natalie had a really good comment. She was like, funny that 2-1 said Mando Luke is definitive, but the results sway differently when you ask which one you'd pick. Yeah, that's true. So it was really funny because, yeah, I guess it could be different people in the chat, or maybe they changed their mind when they saw that. Maybe they forgot about the Bespin Luke and now they've changed their mind. But
I kind of feel like I did change my mind. Honestly, seeing these two images even side by side, I actually think I liked the face sculpt of the Bespin.
That's fair.
More than the other one. Just seeing them side by side, anyways.
Right.
For sure.
Right, because they were probably going for different things. They're probably going for CGI Luke versus going for actual Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, like real Mark Hamill. So, yeah.